Hello and welcome. Thank you for engaging in this debate thus far. The affirmative continues to support the resolution that binge watching is good for your health. We would like to reiterate that the criteria used when it comes to binge watching in this debate references a time period of about 2 to 6 hours. Beyond that, this House does not support the resolution that binge watching is good for your health. As previously stated, we believe that binge watching within a 2 to 6 hour window can be beneficial for your health for reasons including the fact that it can be a good option for stress relief, that it can be an educational aid, and that it promotes social connection. When you've had a long, stressful day and are mentally and physically exhausted, sometimes one of the most beneficial things you can do for yourself is take a break and escape from your own reality. Sometimes having that time to delve into another world can be the thing that allows you to continually show up in yours. The opposition will have you believe that this periodic escape from reality will lead you to isolation and depression. We negate that claim and reaffirm that when constricted to a 2 to 6 hour window, no such impacts will happen and that binge watching can be a healthy way to relieve stress. According to Britannica's procon.org, the average rate of binge watching for the 70% of Americans who admit to binge watching is 3 hours and 8 minutes, which is well within the given time frame of 2 to 6 hours. This in turn means that most people binge watching aren't at risk for the development of depression and isolation. Stress relief is a very crucial part of life, and it's important that we learn ways to relieve our own stress. According to MayoClinic.org, stress that's not dealt with can lead to many health problems such as high blood pressure, heart disease, which if you didn't know is the #1 killer in America, stroke, obesity, and diabetes. This means that if you aren't finding a way to relieve the stress caused by everyday life, then you could be harming your health. The reality is that binge watching for a few hours at night could be the thing that gives you enough dopamine to relieve that stress so that you can handle the stress that's due to come in the future. While we agree with the negatives claim that there are more beneficial ways to reduce stress, such as working out, the existence of that belief doesn't take away from the fact that binge watching can also be a healthy way to reduce stress. In a sense, the two can coexist and neither disprove the other. Is working out and taking care of yourself physically an important aspect of physical and mental health? Yes. However, after you've worked out and after you've spent the day at your job and after you've came home and made sure that everyone and everything was taken care of, binge watching a few episodes of your favorite shows can also serve as a healthy way to decompress and mentally prepare for the next day. We feel that experience can prove this claim, as I'm sure all of us here have quite literally done this, and most of us are probably still very normal and very healthy human beings after doing this. The affirmative can also understand how binge watching can easily become a bad habit. However, we believe that by limiting your time to 2 to 6 hours, you eliminate the risk of that habit being harmful to you. On top of that, we again reiterate that binge watching can be healthy for your brain educationally and socially. According to ConstantTherapyHelp.com, binge watching can be good for your cognitive and mental health because you are being immersed in the environment of what you're watching, which in turn results in your brain and emotions being stimulated as you absorb the content. In our opinion, it doesn't matter what you're watching, as you can learn something from any content you absorb. Whether it be a scary movie, a funny movie, or something as casual as Gilmore Girls, there's always something to be learned. Not to get too deep into it, but the whole point of a storyline, whether it be read or watched or heard, is for there to be a problem, a resolution, and lessons learned from it. Getting to the point, we would rebut the negative side's assertion that our argument fails due to its if statements, such as binge watching is good for your health if you're consuming educational content, because frankly, all content is technically educational. It really comes down to the intention of the person and has nothing to do with the act of binge watching itself. If someone is watching something and is thinking deeply about it, there is room for neuroplasticity to increase, just as there is in every activity that engages your brain. With that, we negate the opposing side's claim that binge watching is detrimental because it causes people to become isolated and develop social problems. Again, when within the range of 2 to 6 hours, this will not happen. We could understand this being a result if someone were to spend the majority of their days binge watching. However, 2 to 6 hours isn't the majority of your day. It's at most 25% of your day. If people are spending at the most a quarter of their day binge watching, even then there's still plenty of time for them to engage in social interaction. Let's say in a 24-hour period, a person spends 8 hours asleep and 6 hours binge watching something. That still leaves them with 10 hours to go out and be in the world. This means that they're able to maintain their social skills and ability to be around other people successfully. The burden of isolation cannot be put on binge watching because in this scenario, that only accounts for 6 hours of their day. Overall, we stand firm in our support for the resolution that binge watching is good for your health. Binge watching your favorite show for 2 to 6 hours a day can serve as an excellent and healthy way to reduce stress. It also inadvertently serves as a resource to gain education and become more knowledgeable. With that, it doesn't isolate you. It in fact provides you with a way to build new social connections based on common interests. In conclusion, we continue to support the resolution that binge watching is good for your health.